are just amazing. We talk about their value in the landscape from an economic standpoint. We talk about all those practical things about them. But the one thing that we don't do often enough is we don't stop to really look at what they are. They change character during all seasons of the year. It doesn't matter what part of the state you're in. You can find something that will have beautiful bark, beautiful buds. It will bloom. It will bloom in very unusual ways like these aspens do. This is actually not the bloom. The bloom is already finished and the bloom looks like silver rain. And now we have sort of this chartreuse, drooping little catkins hanging over this silver bark. We have trees like this that form colonies that are actually living playhouses. What people should really do is think about all of the unusual things about trees that make them so amazing. We love them, we leave them, we hate them, we cut them down, we curse their leaves, we overwater them, we underwater them, we plant them over and over and over again. We get complacent about them. We forget about what they really contribute to our entire amazing quality of life. And it's well beyond those fabulous flowers. It's the trunk. It's what the trunk looks like during the spring of the year. It's the trunk during the winter or during the fall season. It's the change in the foliage. It's the buds as they swell and they change from one day to the next when our spring finally arises in Nebraska. We choose trees for sometimes all the right reasons and sometimes no reason at all, and we tend to oversimplify a little bit. We think of trees as big or little, as blooming or not blooming, as evergreen or deciduous, and we kind of leave it at that. And again, we forget about the wonderful, amazing changes that they go through, whether they're deciduous or evergreen, depending on the season of the year. We also think of trees as being potentially just a single trunk with a canopy, when in fact, just like the aspen and just like the pussy willow and things like pawpaw and persimmon, we have trees that actually form small colonies. So in effect, are they a large shrub? Are they a small tree? It doesn't really make any difference, because what they're really doing for the people who love them for what they are is giving them a totally different thing in their landscape. Take the pussy willow, for example. People think of pussy willow as the fine little shiny, soft, silvery bud that you cut and bring into the house during Easter season or during the early spring. They don't realize that once those pussy willows expand and begin to actually bloom, you have these trees that look like this beautiful, beautiful yellow fuzz or fur. And then of course, as they go further into the season, you've got foliage and the tree becomes quiet again. We tend to choose trees sometimes for their season of bloom, and it can be very, very fleeting. Anybody who remembers back to last year in Nebraska when we had the very, very devastating late spring freeze, we didn't have any flowers on the trees. So if you think only in terms of the flower, or only in terms of the structure, or only in terms of evergreen versus deciduous, you're really going to miss the opportunity to enjoy a tree in all of its other beauty. You think about all the diversity in the tree world, compare it to people. We have two eyes and a nose and ears and a mouth and legs and arms, and we kind of all look the same if you get us all in a room together. You can stand in any environment that has a multitude of trees, especially if they're of diverse species and sizes and ages. You can see such amazing differences between everything from the bark to the shape, to the flowers, to the seeds, to all of those wonderful seasonal changes that trees make. And so if for no other reason than to actually amaze yourself as you walk through your own landscape, take a look at trees and see them for what they really are, see all the qualities of all those fine details, as opposed to just thinking of it as a tree that's going to shed leaves into the gutter, or a tree that's going to need mowing around, or a tree that is going to cost you a lot of money and not give you anything in return. There's nothing, they're almost priceless in terms of what they give us in return.